How to form an LLC in Idaho. When starting a new company, choosing a business entity is one of the most important decisions that you make. For most businesses with more than one founding member, forming an LLC is often the best option. Before we begin, let's quickly define what an LLC is. An LLC stands for Limited Liability Company and is an uncomplicated business structure that gives business owners legal protection by separating personal assets from business debts. Creating an LLC can get complicated depending on where you're based, as the process differs from state to state. To avoid any missteps, follow along as we show you how to form an LLC in Idaho. The first step in forming an LLC is to select a name. Idaho has two main naming guidelines. One, an LLC's name must contain one of the following phrases or abbreviations: Limited Liability Company, LLC, or LLC. An LLC's name must be distinguishable from the names of existing businesses on file with the Idaho Secretary of State. After you have chosen your name, you should reserve it with the Secretary of State. To do this, first check the availability of your selected name on the Secretary of State website. You can then file a reservation form with the Secretary of State to reserve the name for up to 90 days. Note, there is a fee. Check the description below for more details. Step 2. Designate a registered agent. As in most U.S. states, forming an LLC in Idaho requires appointing a registered agent service. A registered agent is an individual or a company that acts as your official point of contact in the state to receive legal documents, service of process, and other official communications from the state. It is their job to forward these documents and communications to your LLC in a timely manner. A registered agent also helps save time mailing documents and keeps your address and other personal information private. Your registered agent must meet the following requirements. 1. Must be a state resident with a street address in Idaho. 2. Have a business office in Idaho if located out of state. Check out the description below for recommended registered agent services that can guide you through this entire process. Step 3. File a certificate of organization. An LLC is formed in Idaho by filing a certificate of organization with the Idaho Secretary of State. The certificate of organization must provide the following information: LLC name, LLC principal address, registered agent's name, address, and signature, the name and address of a governor. This can be a manager or member, depending on whether the LLC is manager-managed or member-managed, the date the LLC was formed, organizers' signatures. You can file your certificate online or through the mail. Note that there is a fee. Check the description below for more details. Next is to create an operating agreement. An operating agreement does the following: describes your business structure, establishes the individual responsibilities and obligations of your LLC members, details how the LLC will be run. Although Idaho doesn't require one, an operating agreement clarifies the specific duties of its members, which may help your LLC avoid significant legal and operational difficulties. Step 5. Get an EIN. Before your company is ready to start doing business, you must obtain an IRS Employer Identification Number, EIN, by applying on the IRS website. The 9-digit EIN is like a social security number for a business and is necessary for things like paying income tax, filing tax returns, opening a business bank account. You can apply for an EIN on the IRS website. Finally, make sure to complete all additional legal requirements. File an annual report. The report must be filed by the end of the LLC's anniversary month. The Idaho Secretary of State will send email reminders to LLCs, notifying them of the report's due date. These reminders will be sent 4 to 8 weeks in advance. It is mandatory to file the report online. Pay taxes. Idaho LLCs that either collect sales tax on retail goods or have employees must register with the Idaho State Tax Commission. Registration can be completed online or by submitting a completed form in person or via mail. Acquire additional licenses. Depending on the industry, some LLCs in Idaho may need state or local licenses to operate legally. Visit the State of Idaho business website for information on state-issued business licenses and permit. For information on local licensing requirements, contact the city or county clerk in the area where your LLC is based. So to sum it up, how to form an LLC in Idaho. 1. Select a name. 2. Designate a registered agent. 3. File your certificate of organization. 4. Create an operating agreement. 5. Obtain an employer identification number. 6. Fulfill your legal obligations, particularly those relating to paying your annual report, registering for state taxes, and applying for any additional licenses you may need. By completing these steps, you can form an LLC in Idaho. All the websites mentioned earlier are located in the description below, as well as a link to a guide. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos answering your questions to all things LLC.